What's up, family? I appreciate you guys sitting back and ready to enjoy this video. Clay Greenfield, as you guys know, he is a NASCAR Camping World trucking driver. Again, he is a big holder of Dogelon Mars. So when you guys get a chance, go ahead and give him a follow. Listen, when y'all thinking that it's just us ordinary people that's holding, we got also celebrities holding this digital asset. So sit back. If you guys haven't liked, share, and subscribe, go ahead and do that. Hit that button and let's get into this interview. So again, family, we got Clay Greenfield in the building. What's up, Clay?
Hey, hey, how are you? You got me?
Yes, we can hear you
All
clear.
right.
Everybody, hit those emojis. Let Clay know that he is welcome in this space and in the Dogelon Mars Warriors Army. Hit those emojis, man.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all.
No, thank you, Clay. We're greatly
iPhone. This is my first time using this fancy technology, so it's a learning experience for me.
okay. Thank you for taking your time out. Everybody have a busy schedule. But to get this started, family, Charlene, would you like to ask Mr. Clay some questions?
Sure do. Hey
Hey,
Clay, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us tonight and being on our space. I want to, thank you for that for the
no
first.
problem. I appreciate y'all having me.
No problem. So I have a few questions here that I would like to ask you. Okay.
Okay.
For some people that's or some of our guests that's currently in the space right now and really don't know who you are, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I currently race in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. I've been racing since I was 12 years old, and I've more or less raced my whole life. That's one aspect of who I am. I also own a asphalt company. We pave, we seal and stripe, do asphalt repair, um, stuff like that. And I grew up in Clarksville, Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. Racing is a big part of my life, and I've also, ever since I was in college, I started investing in the stock market, and am really, did well with that. Really understand that, kind of have a clear path. And about a year ago, actually, Dogelon Mars was the first crypto that I ever. Well, I guess I had to purchase Ethereum first, but Dogelon was my first crypto that I ever bought, and just I'm relatively new, within the last year to crypto, and I just really thank Crypto Brown for helping me out, giving me all kinds of advice, and just I've been soaking it all up and learning, and am a big holder of Dogelon Mars.
Okay. So and oh, you've been in crypto for about a year, right? Give or take a little
Yes.
bit. You were saying, okay, awesome. So what made you like specifically chose Dogelon Mars as buying it? You said that was one of your first. Like, what
It,
made
it,
you
it
actually
it was
bought
the
it?
first. Actually, it was the reason that I got into crypto. I just I found out about it. I don't remember exactly how I found out about it, but at that time, kind of I've had done well with the stock market, and so I figured, what the heck, obviously I'm just gonna bet a little bit of money on this, this new crypto. At that time, Dogelon was only out for about a month, I believe. It was right around last May when I bought into it, and I felt like I was in some pretty safe investments on the stock exchange, and I thought, well, if you on your investments in the stock market, you're not going to have generational wealth type gains unless you, at least most likely you're not. But if you've got a 3, 4, 500% gain in the stock market, that's great. but that's not going to really change your lifestyle. When you get into crypto and there's a potential for 200%, 300%, 1,000%, or I'm sorry, I was meaning thousands, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000%. That's when you get into a situation where it changes your lifestyle. And that's kind of what I was, what attracted me to it is I liked the price point that it was at, and felt like that there was potential, and I just wanted to make, I was willing to make a little bit of a more risky investment for a much greater potential reward. And it really just, as with any investment, you have your risk reward ratio, and I felt like it was a good opportunity.
Awesome. And then you being like one of the first, holders of it. I mean, you got into Elon when it was in May, right? So
Yeah.
you really saw it evolve up till now.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, right. Amazing. That's like, honestly, you did a great move. You did a smart move because you're like was one of the early buyers. That's awesome. That's all I really have to say. Sir, do you have any questions?
Not specific questions, but it's good to hear, Clay, that you got in early. I'm personally a day one holder, so you cannot get any earlier than that. So
Oh,
I would,
awesome!
yeah,
I'm really jealous, actually.
well, we also had the Vitalik dip,
Right.
so I had to ride that way. So that was a little bit painful, got to say. But after the Vitalik dip, I had the perfect opportunity to buy more, and that's also what I did. So
Right.
yeah, that was
And
that
that
was
was kind
great.
of my situation. I actually bought in higher than I wanted to because being new, not having like I got into crypto with Dogelon Mars for specifically for that purpose, and with setting up the accounts, and that was new to me. And with Coinbase, they wouldn't let me transfer my money to buy Dogelon for I think it was like 8 or 9 days, and during that period, it went up like 200% versus what I wanted to buy at. And then then through the summer last year when the whole market was down, obviously I was in the hole on it and was like, I don't know. And then obviously around October it started getting a lot more exciting.
Yeah, we call that phase one, the first moon mission,
Right.
and there are going to be more because we have to hit Mars, right? We have to hit Mars.
Right.
So Clay, I did hear you have some questions for me from Crypto Brown. So yeah, shoot, if you still have questions.
Yeah, I was just well, for one, did you see how we had our logo on the truck at Daytona?
Yeah, I definitely saw that. That was really, really cool. That was awesome.
So I was thinking that I would dare say that there's probably not another NASCAR driver as passionate about Dogelon Mars as me, or holds the amount of tokens that I do. And I think it would be really cool if we could get a full, primary sponsorship from Dogelon Mars, where it's where we've got it on the whole truck. So if you have the ability to help facilitate that, then that'll be, to there's just a major difference in exposure from a primary sponsor versus like versus the sticker that we put on there, which obviously that was really cool. And from my perspective, any anything we can do to promote Dog on Mars, it helps all of us. So it's, the saying, a rising tide raises all boats, and that's kind of the way I look at it. So if there's opportunities to pursue that, I would certainly love to.
Well, that's what the Dogelon Warriors are all about, right? Trying to get the word out there as much as we can in any way that we can, however we see fit, right? So uh, we can definitely look into that, how we can make that happen for sure. I think it would be awesome. It would be, it would be so great to have a NASCAR car fully packed with just Dogelon Mars. There's going to be so much exposure. It's going to help not just the current holders. It's going to introduce a lot of new people to the token as well. So I think that is an amazing idea. So I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. And I
Uh,
can assure you, there's not another NASCAR driver as passionate about Dogelon as I am.
oh, I completely believe you on it, right? Just with the sticker. And also, I've seen how you have promoted Dogelon Mars as well. I would consider you a warrior because of that,
All
right? So,
right. Well, I appreciate the honor.
for sure, you got it completely. So, let's DM about that and see how we can make that happen.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm telling you right now, family, this is huge. Thank you, Dogelon Warriors, Mr. A Pester. And we're not done yet, but we have a professional NASCAR driver in the space. Once again, hit those emojis, man. Like, we're going to see more of this to come. I'm telling you guys right now, Clay Greenfield is a Dogelon Warrior. Now, before I keep on going, if anybody has any questions, hit the mic and we'll bring you up here and ask Mr. Clay some questions if you guys would like. Thank you, Clay. Clay, is there anything else you might want to say and you might want to tell the Dogelon Warrior community while we have some listeners coming up requesting the mic?
Yeah, I just just like to offer encouragement, which I would say anybody committed enough to be on this is probably sees the value and is hardcore into it. But just with the volatility of the crypto market, just don't panic is kind of the biggest thing that I've learned through my time in crypto. And it's I'm one of those greedy investors. Like, for instance, we've had a nice little pump on Dogelon in the last few days, and I'm one of those that don't like to leave a cent on the table. And it's almost when it's down, I almost look at that more of as opportunity than, oh crap, it's down. That's just another opportunity to stuff your bag. And it's kind of the way my mind works. Like I said, I'm a greedy investor, so I don't like to leave a cent on the table. It's like when it shot up the other day, I was like, dang it, I wish I'd invested more. But that's the way it goes.
Clay, I don't know how much you follow currently what is going on in the Dogelon Mars community, but you're a pretty busy guy, to say the least. So just a quick update is that we have currently a Dogelon DAO vote going on, where the community is voting on the release plans for the Methuselah Foundation
Uh-huh.
and what they are going to do with their piece of the pie, the 43%. Now, personally, looking at how they're approaching it for the last year, I'm thinking that release is going to be majorly bullish for the coin.
Awesome.
So keep that in mind. Right now, the community has mostly voted on April 22nd to be the release date. So, I expect some action then as well. And we have the Dogelon Martians going on, which is an NFT release, a 10,000, I believe, 10,000 NFT release that is also tied to a DAO. And I'm expecting some Elon action as well. So, I'm just going, you saw that little pump. I'm expecting a moon mission soon, right? That's really what I'm thinking. And I don't want to put anything in your head in the sense from, well, get FOMO. But there is so much going on right now from the official dev team that, if that's not bullish, if there's not something coming, then I don't know. I don't know. So just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's great to know.
Sato, you have a question?
Yes, yes. Great. Clay. It's my first time hearing about you, but I'm on the team. I'm a warrior as
Awesome. I
well.
appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. I'm also, anyways, I'm a professional teacher, but at the same time, I'm a professional promoter at this point. But my question is really for Crypto Brown and Charlene. I noticed that the price for Dogelon Mars is pretty higher than the normal newer altcoins, and is it that because there are less uh coins available? Is I'm just trying to understand like the difference between you guys or us and the rest of the competitors, right?
Honestly, when you're saying, uh, do we have a lower supply of Dogelon Mars tokens than other digital currencies? Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yes, is that because the beginner investors, did they just buy up all of it, most of it? Is that's what's going on?
Well, honestly, you know that we have 1 quadrillion tokens in the supply right now. What you can buy, 43% is held by Methuselah Foundation from the donation from Vitalik Buterin.
Okay. Understood, understood, and that's pretty much it. Right now I only have a few 100 million shares. I'm going to try to bump that up to a trillion if I could.
But the thing about it is, family, once you hold, it's all about diamond hands. It's the belief into this currency. Again, Dogelon Mars is a currency, not a security. So that's another reminder that you guys want to know as well. I hope I answer your question, Saitama.
Thank you. It's Huddle Huddle 22, but say Tom is cool too.
Deontay, I see you have your hand up.
What's going on, Dogelon Mars family? Hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate you bring letting me be a speaker on here. Clay, appreciate you being here today, man. It means a lot to hear that you are a part of the Dogelon Warriors, Dogelon Mars token, and being aboard of this mission that we're headed to Mars, and it's greatly appreciated. And man, I love the work that you're doing, especially with the community outside of just the crypto space. Uh, I see you do a lot of things, and just to have your own business and being able to be a leader in the community outside of the space, that means a lot to a lot of individuals that do not know the background history of how you came about, becoming a NASCAR racer, and the hard work you put in, not just, what I'm saying, as a businessman, but as a leader to the community on both sides. So definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate y'all having me in the kind words. But I'm, you know, like I tell crypto all the time. I put my pants on just like everybody else does. So we're all in this together.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. So I did have a question for you.
Okay.
Uh, what made you if you chose the number 68? Is there a history on the number 68, or is that just like what is the history with? If
Well,
you don't
that's
mind asking,
yeah.
answer
That's a
that question.
good question. So when I was growing up, four was my. I don't remember if it was my favorite number or my lucky number or how it came about. I just liked number four. So four was what my very first race car was. Well, when I moved up divisions, there was already someone with number four, and I was born in 1984. So I went with number 84 because it still used my four, and it just made sense. So I was 84 for a good portion of my career, and when I got in NASCAR, I was just driving for other teams. That's typically the way it'll work. There'll be a team owner, and then drivers will go from team to team, just depending on the situation. And it happened that when I decided I wanted to start my own team, the equipment that I bought was from the team that was number 68. and I had driven for them some the previous year, and basically NASCAR more or less assigned that number to me. And 84, I really wanted to be 84. 84 wasn't available at the time, and so I was 68. And 3-4 years later, 84 became available. But at that point in time, I kind of built an identity as number 68, and everything that I owned had 68 on it. And my wife never knew me as anything except wife or kids, and they had never known me as anything besides 68. And then, interestingly enough, this year I'm actually going to be 84, and the reason that is, so when COVID happened, NASCAR races they stopped having qualifying. There was only qualifying at 3 or 4 races. So what that means, they would set the field on point. Like typically pre-COVID, you go to the racetrack, you would go practice, and then they'd have qualifying, and then based on your qualifying speed would determine how you start, who makes the race, how you start the race, etc. Well, without COVID, they line up on points. Well, the way you earn points is you get paid points based on your finish from each race. Well, if you're in a situation like me where I don't race full time, I didn't have enough points to get into the race. So the only way that I could drive at Talladega last year was to use another quote team. So it was actually my truck that was transferred to another team. Well, NASCAR doesn't let you change like if you transfer a vehicle out of your inventory, you can't transfer that back into your own inventory for 6 months. Well, Daytona was coming up in less than 6 months, so then we had to, I partnered with a new team that he actually was number 84 growing up when he was racing, and it just made sense to. The two of us were kind of forming a new team, and it just made sense to go with 84 because we weren't allowed to use number 68, and so it kind of that number 84 has come full circle with me with being 68 for a while. So I mean, they're both special to me. I've got both of my kids are going to start racing quarter midgets, and we've got number 84 on one of them and number 68 on the other one. So they're I think I've had enough time with both numbers. I'll kind of claim both of them now.
Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot, and it's a great story on how you came about that. I mean, you come from 84 to 68, and to be able to use both of those numbers, for the kids, and so they could spread the generation of the excitement and just the passion for driving. That's the awesome thing to be able to live up to. And prayers to them as well, to be able to feel the success in your shoes as being a NASCAR racer, and to have that excitement and that passion to keep on driving and pushing your way to even higher limits without any type of limitation, and really being successful in it. So I definitely appreciate, giving us a little history on, about the numbers, and congratulations, and I pray for even more success going forward for you. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, hey Clay, before I let another speaker up here, I want, if you can, to tell the community about how it is, like, of course, when you came up and you became a NASCAR driver, but letting the people know of keep on chasing your dreams and accomplishing it.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's I've kind of learned in my life. There's nothing that I've really been determined to do that I haven't done or been able to do with enough work and effort. With exception, I don't have my airplane yet. But hey, once I don't really need to go all the way to Mars. I just need to get part of the way to the moon, and we'll get us an airplane. But yeah, just hard work and determination. Like if you want something bad enough and you work for it, you can achieve it. I mean, you think about it, of all the people in the world that want to be race car drivers, there's a very small percentage that actually make it to NASCAR. But it's the old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. And if if you want to achieve your dreams um, strongly enough and you put the effort into it, you'll achieve them. And sometimes, I'm a firm believer that God has a plan for all of us, and sometimes you end up not achieving the dream that you thought you were trying to achieve, but it ends up being your dream nonetheless.
Thank you, Clay. Thank you for the words of encouragement. I see we got small caps. You have anything you want to say? Ask to Mr. Clay.
Hey, Crypto Brown, Shar, Warrior, thanks for bringing me up. Hey, Clay, I got a quick question for you, buddy.
Sure.
In regards to the sponsorship, right? Are you looking for like a one-time race or the whole entire season? Because I think it'd be cool to see that Dogelon Mars emblem on the hood, man.
Oh, I would love for the whole entire season. That's it's kind of the situation that I've been in is I've let me give you a little background on my situation. So I own the team myself, and we are we're kind of a smaller underfunded team. Like, I mean, you get into the world of NASCAR, like what I'm racing against Kyle Busch Motorsports, GMS Racing, which is actually GMS Petty Race. They merged with Richard Petty. There's a lot of money. We're racing against $4 million budgets, and so far in my career, I haven't been able to raise the capital to go head to head with those teams. But I feel like we've done a really good job with working with a lot less of a budget, and it just goes into engineering, equipment. The big teams, which NASCAR has limited wind tunnel usage, but the simulation is so incredible now, that you're able to, if you have access to the simulators, you're able to put your truck on the racetrack. They scan the racetracks, take all the measurements of the truck, and it's so fine tuned that you're able to actually make adjustments to the truck on the simulator. We're traditionally, 10, 15 years ago, you would go test and test and test, and teams were testing every day. They would have specific test teams that, like a whole entire team set up that had no intention of ever racing. They just went and tested 2 or 3 times a week, and that's how you got better and did that. But I guess they've learned that which NASCAR limited the amount of testing you could do, and so it kind of forced everyone to look for basically reallocated their resources of when they were doing testing, and it turned more into the technology. And so that the investment that they used to make to go testing has been put into simulation, and it is so incredible that the stuff that say if you wanted to go test at Kansas Speedway, you used to have to go to Kansas, set a car or truck up, spend weeks preparing for that, and go to Kansas. Well, they can just go to the simulator down the street now and do the same thing, and it's really truly incredible. But that's we haven't been in a position where we've had access to that stuff, so we've kind of have to do it a little bit the old school way. Once if I get in a position where we have the funding in place to go head to head with those guys, I mean, I think we'd be winning races every week.
Small caps, did he answer your question?
Yeah, I appreciate the insight on that, Clay. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Mr. Clark, I see you have your hand up.
What's up? What's up, guys? What's up, Clay?
Hey.
Crypto Brown, Dogelon, Charlene, Deontay. What's up? What's up, the whole squad? So we're gonna be seeing the Dogelon Mars logo on Clay Greenfield's truck.
You're kind of breaking in and out, Mr. Clark.
No, what I'm saying, are we gonna see the Dogelon Mars logo on Mr. Greenfield's truck?
I think we all hope so. Hopefully we can put something together to make that work.
Okay. Yeah, that. I mean, I'm a big NASCAR fan, and just now, I'm a Clay Greenfield fan.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? I definitely followed you, and you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. And listen, there's a lot of big things coming for Dollar on Mars. People might not be aware. Um, they don't. You, you, you're not paying attention to the subliminals, and the subliminals is what's important with this particular project. And it's going places before you know it.
I think we having a little mic issues with you, Mr. Clark.
Okay, no, you could hear me.
Yes, we can hear you clearly now.
Okay, no, what I was saying is that Dogelon Mars is going places, and you got to pay attention to the subliminals because the subliminals is what's important. So before you know it, Dogelon Mars will be heading towards Mars. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. I believe the quality, but what I can understand is Dogelon Mars is going to go reach the limits of what others don't believe it can reach. It's all about faith. Like what Mr. Clay Greenfield said, it's like, you have to work towards your dream to achieve what you want out of life, you know? So thank you, Mr. Clark, for coming up and asking questions. If anybody else has any questions, feel free. I know Mr. Greenfield is on a limited time, so feel free, hit that request mic, and let's get to it. You can speak, Deontay.
Hey Clay, I do have a question for you. I know I know you probably remember this very well, but in May, you held a Hornet. How did that feel? Like, how did you really feel? Because I know you posted it, but how did you really feel about a Hornet or one of the murder Hornets? Like, what was the reaction to the after effect of really seeing what was going on, how you was feeling, what was it was intensity, was it nervousness, was it, hey man, I'm about to probably throw this on somebody else? Like, how did you feel?
Well, so that was really crazy, and that was right at the right when Murder Hornets. I never heard of one before, other than just days before that. And what's funny is the exterminator had just been to the house, just minutes before I found that, and I halfway that it was our first. We had just moved into the house that we're in now, and it's our first time using that company. And I was like, oh my gosh, did that exterminator plant this thing to make me call him back? Like I was second guessing it. Like I really couldn't believe it. And then I was like, well, no, I'd never seen anything like that before. And then it's like, well, surely this can't be it. This has to be something else. And then I'm looking online, and everything was lining up to where I'm pretty sure that's what. And matter of fact, I actually have that thing still in a jar to this day. But that it was pretty crazy. And I never found, thankfully, I never found any of its friends. Just that one.
Yeah, I can know that's a scary situation, but it's good to have it as a souvenir to bring back that memory of, hey, I was this close encountered with a murder hornet,
Right.
and I'm glad nobody was stung by it. The family was safe, but I could imagine that was a scary moment. But it's good to have it as a souvenir, as a memory. So
Yeah,
I
and
definitely
it
appreciate
was
that.
it was a little bit docile, and I want to say that it must have just made contact with whatever the exterminator was spraying. So it was definitely, I mean, it was alive, for sure, but it wasn't operating on, as we say in racing, all eight cylinders. It was a little, almost like it was kind of halfway asleep I would say. It was probably operating at half capacity, and I tell you what, I could not kill that thing. That's how it ended up in a jar. Like I would step on, like stomp on it, hit it with like that thing would not die, and I put it in a jar and like a mason jar, sealed it up, and for a long time, like I don't remember exactly, but at least over 24 hours, that thing was still moving. And I'd done everything in my power. Like I could not kill it. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, put what was that? Some tape across the eye so it couldn't see you. But it definitely was probably onto some Benadryl after the exterminator put some of that spray in there. So that was good that it was kind of a little woozy. That way you were able to grasp it without it affecting anybody or harming anyone in the family.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah. And I just really couldn't believe that that's what it really was. But as far as, I've had some people say that it's this or that, but when when you line pictures upside, and the picture that I posted, like there's some details to it, like as far as to what it looks like that didn't really show up on camera. And when you're sitting there looking at it in person next to pictures of what a murder hornet looks like, I'm pretty confident that that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, and last thing, great choice of having a fur baby to the family. I love Labradors. I have a Labrador pit mix called a Labrador, and they're very good dogs as well. This hunting dog, so that was a great choice. So I'm really happy for that.
Yeah, that's unfortunately I lost him in October. I had 12 and a half years with him, and he was my firstborn. He went everywhere with me, went to work with me, everything. So I still have a hard time with that every day. It's been since October.
Sorry to hear that. Yes, I definitely know. Imagine having a relationship with the fur puppy, and
Yeah.
definitely, we ain't gonna get into that. So thank you, and I really appreciate you being a part of the space and being a holder of Dogelon Mars token, and glad to be a part of the mission with us, and good blessings towards your race, the future races. If there's any link that you could kind of let us know about the future races, that if you have any dates for us that we could tune in to, definitely would like to be a part of this.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Like we're in the process of building a new truck. So like what I had been racing was several years old. Um, and the technology it changes all the time. That's actually if you follow the Cup Series, they've gone to a new car this year, which is effectively a spec car where you have to buy the cars. And there's one source you buy the chassis, one source you buy the parts, and there's only a certain it's a specified part, and there's only certain things that you can do that you have options on, like as far as with your springs and shocks and how you put the settings on the car. It's it's very very limited. Well, in the truck series, we're still in the Wild West, more or less, like what the Cup Series used to be, where you can there's just set rules. You can build your own trucks, and there's just a lot of you line 20 of them up next to each other, and none of them are the same. And there's a lot of variations and just the things that everything every day they're finding more and more. Which downforce and horsepower are your two big things that you go for. And downforce is the aerodynamic. For those that don't know, like the aerodynamic pressure that the air puts on the car or truck, and it plants you into the racetrack. And you have what's called mechanical grip, which is like the grip of your tires. But then you have aerodynamic grip, which is the air, which is a grip from downforce, from the air pushing you down. And there's only you only have a fixed limitation of mechanical grip, but you can keep gaining more and more aerodynamic grip, and that's certainly the where everyone works. But we're going to hopefully get something that's you hear the saying, take a knife to a gunfight. Hopefully we get the same kind of gun that the other guys have.